Today I want to show you how to use ChatGPT. You download it on your phone or your computer, and you go click up there and say new chat, and then you click on the microphone and you start talking. I wanted to talk about the Fort Laramie Treaty. I want to talk about how unfair it was. We won in court, but they didn't give us our land back. And I keep discussing it with them and go back and forth and say, you know, why, what happens, what are other tribes doing, and we have a long discussion. And then I print it, and it tells me all about it, and we go back and forth. And then what I do is I click here, and I click on this, and I say, now create dialogue between Dawn and ChatGPT about what we just talked about, but shorten it to a 3-minute video and mainly talk about the unfairness and a call to action. And I click this, and it generates a dialogue over everything we've talked about. You can do meetings, discussions between your family, everything, and it shortens it up into a story format. And then you can just click on it and you can say read aloud.
Dialogue between Dawn and ChatGPT. Dawn, a Native American woman with long black braids, sits in a calm and reflective setting. ChatGPT's voice is heard, engaging in conversation with her. You know, ChatGPT, I've been thinking a lot about the Fort Laramie Treaty of 1868. It was supposed to protect our land and rights.
And it keeps going. And what you can do is you can copy that, email it to yourself, or what I do is I copy it to another program and I create a video from it. Or you can do audio, but I like videos. And then when you're done with this, you can go over here, and for video, you can create video. Like here I said, create a picture of Dawn in front of the White House. And she was yelling, ah! And I said, well, don't make her yell too much. Calm it down a little bit. And then make her have just one fist in the air and not yelling so loud. And then it creates a picture of her yelling in the air. And then I add those to my video. It's very easy. And the ChatGPT is free.
Hey, ChatGPT, I've been thinking a lot about the Fort Laramie Treaty. It's so frustrating. If it was recognized that the Black Hills were taken illegally, why isn't the land returned to us? Why just give us money instead? It feels like they're stealing from us all over again.
Dawn, you're absolutely right to feel that way. The Supreme Court's ruling in 1980 did acknowledge that the land was taken illegally. Offering only financial compensation doesn't truly address the wrong that was done, especially when that compensation doesn't reflect the land's total market value or its cultural and spiritual significance. The land is not just property, it's a living part of your identity, history, and spirituality.
Exactly. The Black Hills are sacred to us. They're part of who we are. How can they think money can replace that? It's like they're saying our connection to the land doesn't matter. And they know the compensation isn't enough to get the land back. They're just making sure they keep control of it. How is that fair?
It's not fair, Dawn. The current approach fails to honor the treaties and the rights of the Native American tribes. By not returning the land or providing adequate means to reclaim it, they continue the injustice. It's not just about the economics of the land, but about recognizing and respecting your sovereignty and your sacred connection with the land. This continues the historical pattern of ignoring and violating treaties, which is unethical.
You're right. They talk about recognizing the past wrongs of manifest destiny and cultural superiority. They say those things were wrong, but what are they doing to make it right? It's just words unless they take real action. They should buy back the land from the people on it now and give it back to us. That would be fair. Instead, they just offer money, not enough to return the land. It's insulting.
Yes, words without action are empty. There's a profound ethical obligation to do more than just acknowledge past wrongs. True justice requires restoring what was taken. Buying back the land and returning it would be a step towards real reconciliation. It would show respect for the trees and for the cultural, spiritual, and sovereign rights of Native peoples. Anything less is indeed a form of continued theft.
It's about more than just fairness, it's about justice. It's about recognizing that we have a right to our land, to our culture, to our way of life. We shouldn't have to keep fighting for what's ours. They need to stop talking about doing what's right and actually do it. Return the land. Honor the treaties. That's what justice looks like.
Absolutely, Dawn. It's time for real change. Acknowledging the past is only the first step. To truly honor the spirit of the Fort Laramie Treaty and all trees, the government needs to commit to genuine restitution. This means returning lands whenever possible, providing adequate compensation that truly reflects the loss, and supporting the sovereignty and self-determination of Native American tribes. It's time for action, not just words.
Yes, it's time. We need to continue raising our voices, making sure they hear us. We need to remind them of their promises, of the treaties they signed. This isn't just about the past, it's about the future, about creating a world where justice isn't just an ideal, but a reality. We need to call on everyone to stand with us, to demand that justice be done. Together, we can make a difference.
Absolutely, Dawn. Justice, respect, and fairness should be the foundation of our actions. It's time for a call to action for everyone who believes in justice, stand with Native American communities, support their fight for land rights, and demand that the government uphold its promises. Let's work together to ensure that the legacy of injustice is replaced with one of respect, equity, and true reconciliation.
Thank you, ChatGPT. You are a machine, and you understand fairness, ethics, and what is right. It's time to make things right. For our ancestors, for ourselves, and for future generations. The time for justice is now.